What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Damien Reads Comics. Today we're going to do a review of Promethea Book 2 Deluxe Edition. It's actually called the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition of Promethea Book 2. I did read the first one already. You guys can check out the video, before this one. But we're moving on to Promethea Book 2. Now, this does have 328 pages and collects issues 13 to 23. And if you guys haven't actually seen the previous video and or read yourself issues 1 through 12, I highly suggest you guys don't read this. Read this and first of all, read it. But I highly suggest you guys don't watch this video. I might give some spoilers, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't read it and that wants to. So that being said, guys, please, if you guys haven't read issues 1 through 12 and or checked out my previous video-ish a little bit, please skip this one for now. Come back to it when you have. Please, that's all I'm asking you guys. So anyway, like I said, this is Promethea Book 2 Deluxe Edition. Collects issues 13 through 23. It is published by DC Black Horse. I was going to say Dark Horse. DC Black Horse. And I do believe, oh yeah, DC Black Horse. Wow. DC Black Label. I was checking out a whole bunch of Black Horse stuff yesterday. I'm sorry. DC Black Label. What's weird is it says DC Black Label on the dust jacket of it, but when you take it off, and I'm going to put this to the side already, it doesn't say DC Black Label on it. It just says DC. But as you can see here, here's the spine of it, and when you open it, you can see the image of it. It does have sewn binding. Let's see. Written by Alan Moore, pencils by J.H. Williams III, inks by Mick Gray, colors by Jeremy Cox, and it looks like issue 22, pages 8 to 24 are painted and colored by J.H. Williams III. I don't know why it says that only right there. That's kind of weird. Letters, logos, and original cover design by Todd Klein. Promethea created by Alan Moore and J.H. Williams III. Cover art by J.H. Williams III and Jeremy Cox. Case art by J.H. Williams. When it says case art, these come in actual absolute editions, but I didn't pick them up in absolutes. I picked them up in deluxe editions. And that's what they're talking about, the case art. So case art is also done by J.H. Williams III and designed by Todd Klein. Original series covers by J.H. Williams III and Jose Villarrubia. Let's see, Mick Gray, Jeremy Cox. Yeah, because they did different issues. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of people worked on this. So, let's go ahead, crack this open, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about the story of it, what's going on in it. And like I said, if you guys haven't, if you guys haven't done so, if you guys haven't read issues 1 through 12, or if you guys haven't checked out my previous video, stay away from this one because I am going to give a bit of spoilers starting off. So, that being said, guys, let's go ahead and crack this open and go over the plot. Alrighty, guys, let's get started with this and crack this open. Like I said, so here's the end pages, which I really like because it has the design. Most of them are just kind of blank. Anyway, here's the title page, Promethea Deluxe Edition, Book 2. Here's the actual, the cover art. I think they want to call it the cover art. The Weeping Gorillas. He's freaking awesome. He doesn't really play a part in the story at all, but the little, cameos we get from him, look, he says, I just want to wake up. The little cameos we get in between all the issues, and in the issues, in the art, it's just amazing. Here's all the credits and stuff like that you guys can take a quick look at, if you guys want to pause that. So this one's kind of interesting because I didn't really notice it at first, and I kind of want to start paying more attention to it. But this actually has a lot to do with it. This is supposed to represent the life tree. And they actually start at the bottom, and they're climbing up to the top of it. And when I say they, I'll get into it here shortly. So where does this start off as? So it starts off where in the last book, there was this big fight between a whole bunch of demons from the Howling, the Griado, between Promethea and 3 other Prometheas, and one of the Prometheas was put into Sophie Banks' friend Stasia, Vanderveer. And so now, I guess you can say Sophie Banks is having a hard time. Or and when that whole thing happened, Barbara became Promethea while she was still injured and in the hospital. She embodied Promethea, but once the battle was done and kind of won, she kind of the embodiment of her time of Promethea kind of went away. And when that happened, she passed away. And this kind of starts off as Sophie Banks can't deal with the fact that she passed. Like she's having a hard time coping that she passed away, that she died, and she's talking to her friend Stasia about what she wants to do. And what's weird about it, it's already the summer of 2000 because the book before it was taking place in the year 1999. And so she's talking to Stasia about what she wants to do. She wants to go and find Barbara and, see what's going on and at least say bye to her. And as you can see here, this is the tree of life. Like they're already kind of hinting towards it. And so she's pretty much telling Stasia, hey, you know what? I'm going to be leaving and I need you to follow me. And she pretty much takes Stasia into the Immatura. And as you can see here, they're in the Immatura, between Earth and the imaginary world. There, they go and meet up with the other Prometheas. And right when they get there, they're noticing that, what's her name? Sophie Banks already knows that Barbara's not here because, like, these ones are already passed away. Grace, Margaret, Bill, they're all passed away already, and they're here. But why isn't Barbara here? Where she wanted to move on. Why did she want to move on? Because she wanted to go look for her husband, Steve. And so this is where Sophie, as Promethea, talks to the other Prometheus, like, hey, you know what? I want to go after Barbara and talk to her. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? You're the protector of Earth right now. Like, everything's going well. And she's like, well, you know what? I've also thought about that. I'm going to leave Stasia behind as the protector while I'm gone. Stasia can, embody Promethea while I'm away and protect Earth. And at first, the other Prometheans are like, what? That doesn't work. And she's like, well, Grace, you were in her body before, and you guys did okay. You guys can do that again. And after a while of back and forth stuff, they finally agree to it. They agree to Stasia being the next Promethea as Grace. Grace is Promethea. And they allow, I don't really allow, it's not like they're giving her permission, but they're like, hey, good luck on your journey to find Barbara. And that's what she does. It's weird to me because at this point, I'm still thinking that she's in the Immatura, going to the Tree of Life to look for Barbara. I was thinking that the Tree of Life is in the Immatura, but no, it's a completely different place. It's a different realm. And I did not know that. Like, I actually had to look up and be like, oh, okay, this is different from the Immatura. Okay, so that's pretty much the premise of this book. Like, it's kind of weird because I know with the last one, I talked and talked and talked. But, so this is the transition from Promethea going from the Immatura to the Tree of Life. She meets up with, what do they call it? The universe. Talking to the universe. And saying that she wants to go to the Tree of Life, and she starts walking. She takes the different routes, and that's where she meets up with a certain individual, Charon. The guy, if you guys don't know, in folklore, supposedly, he's like the boat keeper. He's the one that you pay to, I guess, pretty much boat you from like the living to the dead. From the Styx, they call it the Styx River, something like that. And so she's like, am I dead? And it's kind of weird with the interaction they have there. So finally, she's on her way to the Tree of Life. Then so between that, it goes back and forth between Sophie Banks / Promethea to Stasia and Grace. Grace is Promethea. And right here, they're kind of having a hard time kind of working together, like Stasia and Grace is Promethea. And, she needs to get books to read about it a little bit. And it goes back to Stasia going to, at the bottom part of, I guess you can call it the foundation of the Tree of Life, where she starts meeting a few people. And she eventually meets up with, where is it? Oh, right here. She finally meets up with Barbara. And Barbara's like, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. And and Sophie's like, you know what? I just wanted to say, I didn't get to say goodbye, this and this and that. And she's like, and Barbara's like, you know what? I'm here because I'm trying to look for my husband. And supposedly this is her husband right now, but it's not. It's like the imagination of her husband. She wants to go look for her real husband, like his soul. And Sophie's like, you know what? I'm gonna help you with your journey. You helped me so much. I want to help you. So they go through the tree of life looking for Barbara. Stephen Shelley, Barbara's husband. That's the adventure that Barbara slash her name is Barbara Shelley slash Promethea, and Sophie slash Promethea go on a journey to go and find Barbara's husband, all at the same time. Stasia slash Grace are on Earth, but they're not the Promethea that everybody knows. And what's weird about this is in the last book, it broke down the Tree of Life a little bit. Each section, the spheres of the Tree of Life. I believe there's like 10 spheres in it, and so right here they're at the bottom one, the foundation of it. And each time they go through a different the foundation of it. Each time they go to a different sphere, they go through a lot of different emotions. A lot of things happen to them, and each chapter they're either going across the bridge to the next sphere, or at the spheres. You can see here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spheres that they have to go through, and supposedly those 10 represent something, especially to the human, like the imagination, feelings, emotions, lust, things like that. It just goes into in depth about all that stuff, which is kind of crazy. So that's their journey, and in each one of them they go to a different place of the sphere. And like I said, while that's going on, Stasia's over here trying to how to conjure up her Promethea, the Grace. I guess you can say Grace. Promethea, she's trying to like embody her. How does she do it? Well, she figures out that she can't draw, or she can't write poems to, conjure her up and become Promethea. She has to draw her. So that's what she does, and she finally becomes her. And so, like I said, going back and forth, you got Promethea, Promethea slash Sophie, and Promethea slash Barbara on their journey through the Tree of Life, and the different spheres. Right here, we got this Promethea, which is Stasia slash Grace Promethea on Earth, protecting Earth. But the way she's going around it is crazy. Like, she goes and instead of like doing the right thing, it kind of looks like they're doing it. It kind of looks like she's doing it the bad way, and she really is. Like she goes into a confrontation with the swell guys, and she kind of beats the crap out of him. She goes and tries to take out the mayor because she knows that the mayor is embodied by all the demons that they had at the fight at the hospital. Because at the hospital, when they were leaving, when all the demons were leaving, instead of leaving through a portal again, they actually all went into the mayor, because he has different personalities. They went into him, and she knew that. Grace knew that. The Grace Promethea knew that, and so she's gonna go after him. And that's kind of this story. You get to see the different spheres of the living tree. This was weird. Like, you had to read it like this. This was weird as heck. But like I said, both Barbara and Sophie as Promethea, every single time they enter a new sphere slash bridge, they experience different emotions going through them. They experience different things happening to them. And each issue, it shows that. And obviously, they meet so many different people. It was just a hell of an experience, actually. And like I said in the last book, I enjoyed how it started, but this was on another level of weird for me, like universal, mystical level of weird. I was kind of having a hard time sticking with it, I guess you can say. And this kind of went back to Stasia's Promethea, how she beat the crap out of all these people. And not only that, she beat the crap out of them, and she's about to beat the crap out of the swell guys as well. So yeah, like I said, she's not doing the right thing. But yeah, each one, each fear they go through is crazy. This is when Stasia beats the crap out of the swell guys and is trying to go to the mayor. But look at this. Each sphere is completely different. This art is way different. Look at this. Love and emotions and things like that. There was bubbles in that water, and they're like, it's showing like their present slash past slash future. It was weird. It was weird. And then they finally come to a different one, a different bridge, and they think it's death. And technically it is death because he kills them. While he kills them, they see them, like Sophia and Barbara see death kill them. But it's not, death isn't meant, because it's the 10 spheres and the bridges of it all represent the tarot cards. And this was death. And a lot of people think that when you get the tarot card death that you're supposed to die, but that's not what it means. It's like, supposedly it's trying to kill your bad natures and bad emotions to start a new you, supposedly, I guess you can say. I don't know. It's hard to explain because I, even for one, didn't really grasp the whole concept of it either. But as you can see here, they're kind of traveling. They tells you like the map of where they're at when it comes to the Tree of Life. Right here, Stasia finally enters the, one of the building where the mayor's at, and he's going to confront the mayor and the demons. As you can see, there's the demons. And instead of fighting them, she finally realizes something, but it kind of goes back to that. It switches over to both Prometheus, Barbara, and Sophie. They're at a different sphere now. This one was a little bit weird. I have a hard trouble with this, reading this. Like, do I read it like this? Do I read it like this? Do I read it like this? It's so weird. It got to a point where I didn't know how to read it, so I just kind of started like this and read it like this, and I don't know if it followed that. So at least with this, I know to read it like this. But they're here at a different sphere. Oh, here, this one's cool though. I was hoping I didn't skip this. While they're traveling through the Tree of Life, Barbara, because she is dead, meets up with her guardian angel. Her guardian angel is herself, but a younger self. But this one, being a teenager, she's cussing all the time. They blur out the cussing, but you know what she's saying. For example, let me see if I can find one where she cusses. If I find a text bubble where she's cussing, I'll show you. Oh, right here, look. This ain't, right? Rocket, but you know she's saying the F word right here because it fits in. Anyway, so what's cool about the guardian angel, her name is, they call her Boo Boo. I don't know why, it's just, anyway. Boo Boo, she explains a lot when it comes to every single sphere. She knows a lot of things because obviously she's been there. So, this right here is the pinnacle. Like, it got so mystical, cult, but then it got really religious. I was like, what the heck? I'm losing it. Like, I don't know what I'm reading anymore. But when you're reading it, it kind of makes sense. It really does make sense, but I'm so lost in it. And so yeah, that's like I said, each chapter / issue has to do with a part of them either going to or at a sphere, going to a sphere, or being at a sphere, and then it kind of switches back and forth between Promethea / being Barbara, Promethea and Sophie and Boo Boo, or it switches to Stasia being Grace. This right here, hold on. Oh, this is this is some investigators, the FBI. I don't know what they're doing. That kind of little story arc that's going on between them, I have no idea what's going on. But I did enjoy the art in every sphere because this is supposedly Mercury, Judgment, and it's on fire, and everything looks red. So, like, the whole art is red, which is cool, I liked it. It represents, like, war and things like that. So then, finally, we get to the showdown a little bit between Stasia / Grace and the mayor with all the demons. And she realizes that she can't fight him with her sword, so she needs to do something. And she does do something, and it's not what people, I'm not going to say what she does, but she does defeat the main one. His name is Asmodeus, and she kind of defeats him, but kind of doesn't, I guess you can say. He gets scared of, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but she does what she needs to do, and she takes care of it, and while that was happening, as Asmodeus in the Tree of Life actually trapped Barbara and Sophie, and when Stasia helped, he kind of, or she kind of helped Barbara and Sophia. So then, like I said, they keep traveling through the Tree of Life, and they enter a new one. Right here, this interaction was very interesting because now you got Stasia talking to Grace, the Promethea, and they're kind of like, she's talking to her like maybe in her dream, but it's like an imagination, and they're kind of like getting like feelings for each other. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say or not. Like, how can you fall in love with something that's just an imagination? But anyway, this is kind of weird that it's like this talk radio thing that always shows up. You read it, but like, does it tell you what's going on in the city or why is it there? I don't know. And then this guy right here, like Agent Drecker. Yeah, Drecker, like the FBI after him. I don't even remember reading about him in the first one. I might have, but it's just so much to take in that I might have skipped it, you know? So, like, I don't know. Again, this is Promethea going to a different sphere, and you can see it's completely different. This art's beautiful. Oh, by the way, she meets her father. Who meets her father? Sophie Banks meets her father, and you learn about why he left, why he died, what happened to the mother, what happened to him. Yeah, like right here, this is kind of an emotional one. It's Sophie meeting her father, and she's like, "Hey," or they're going on a journey, but where you're going, I can't go with you. So when you come back, I'll be here. Same with Boo Boo, the guardian angel tells Barbara the same thing. So when that happens, they leave, and it's just, let's see. Yeah, this is when he's saying goodbye. Oh, and by the way, no, this is still there. Something happens actually, like the Promethea part of her kind of disappears. So she's not with Promethea anymore. And also, I'm sorry, hold on, Jesus Christ. I kind of messed it up a little bit. Right here, this Promethea, Sophie Banks Promethea meets her father that got killed back in Alexandria 411, and they meet up. And he takes that Promethea with him. And so it's left alone with Sophie, Boo Boo, and Barbara as Promethea still. They keep walking, and then they meet up with Sophie's dad, Juan. And then that's when you learn that. Sorry, that happened a little bit. And so then they're going to a journey by themselves where Juan can't go with his daughter and Boo Boo can't go with Barbara. So it's just Sophie now, not Promethea. Sophie by herself and Barbara / Promethea go on this journey to the abyss, the edge of everything, the edge of time, the edge of existence, and they go into the nothingness. That was a weird chapter to read. It was just like I don't even know how to explain it. Because are they imagining it that they're meeting these people? Are they falling? Are they not? What's going on between them? Like, I couldn't comprehend what was happening to them. But at the same time, I think it's done like that on purpose because you're not meant to comprehend at the edge of time, at the edge of existence. So I think, Alan Moore did that on purpose. See, like, they can't comprehend what's going on here. And it does kind of actually explain it, actually, that this was actually another sphere that got kind of destroyed, and now it's just all distorted. So it does explain it, actually. And a certain individual explains it that you meet, later on, or earlier in the, that I don't want to spoil who it is. But they, like I said, they do keep traveling, and it kind of goes back and forth between Stasia, her being on Earth, and who's this guy right here? If you guys might not know him, that's the painted doll. Maybe maybe he's the return of him, because supposedly he died, supposedly killing the mayor, but he didn't. Not killing the mayor, killing Betty Solomon. But yeah, they just keep traveling through the different spheres. I think I want to, after this chapter, I'm going to stop it because I don't want to give the spoiler as to if Barbara slash Promethea and Sophie Banks. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop it right here because I think there's like 2 chapters left. I don't want to spoil if they make it all the way to the top of the Tree of Life, the crown. I don't want to spoil it if they finally meet up with Steve, if they find him or not. And I don't want to spoil that at all. You know, you guys are going to have to read that for yourselves because what happens with, I mean, I do tell the story of what's going on with, you know, of it, but I don't want to spoil that part at the end if they do find him or not, if they reach the crown of the Tree of Life, what happens with them, what doesn't happen with them. You're just going to, you know, the last couple pages or the last couple chapters of a story I always want to leave alone because I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So you guys are going to have to read that for yourselves. But I do want to show one of them right here. This whole issue was just like this. Look. That was so amazing to me. That's freaking awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and move to the back of the book. And I do want to say, like, does Sophie come back home? Does she talk with her mom after she talked with her dad? Like, I will say this. She makes it back home and does talk to her mom. But I'm not going to say what happens in between with, you know, with Barbara, if she finds Steve or not, if they make it to the Tree of Life. But she does eventually make it back home and talks to her mom. I will say that. Now, you got some cover art that I want to show to you guys, because this cover art was just so amazing to me. This one in particular, I don't know why, just the third eye type of thing is pretty cool. Now, I'm saying it's pretty cool. I'm not saying I'm into it. Like, I'm not in this whole mystical occult tarot reading and stuff. Like, no. Like, I'm not into all that. But I just like the way it looks, the art. The weeping gorilla. Then you got about the authors and the people that worked on it. And then you got the end of book 2. End page, and then the back. So, anyway, guys, that's the end of the review. Let's go ahead and do the rating, see what you guys think, and hopefully you guys agree with me. Hopefully you guys don't, you know, say it was bad, but let's go from there. Alrighty, guys. So before I do the rating on this, let's do a quick recap of this. This is the 20th anniversary deluxe edition of Promethea Book 2, hardcover, as you can see here. It does have sewn binding. It is written by Alan Moore and art by J.H. Williams III. Yeah. And Mick Gray and Jeremy Cox. Collects issues 13 to 23 and 328 pages. Oh, I'm sorry. It's published by DC Black Label. So what am I going to give this as a rating? I enjoyed the first one pretty good. Towards the end of it, when it was going into the whole magic thing and, you know, about the Tree of Life, because it was explaining the Tree of Life and the emotions and universe and things like that at the end of book 1. This went in depth of everything else that we were learning from book 1. So yeah, while the story of it continued kind of nicely, I didn't think it was going to go the way it did. And I'm not the biggest fan of mystical, cult, religious, tarot, magic stuff. I know that's Alan Moore's type of work. That's what he is. That's what he does. But it's not for me. Now, the art and the story, it was enough to keep me interested, definitely. The art of Alan Moore was just superb. The art, fabulous. Like, each one was so different. Each issue was so different than the next. But it's not a different writer. It was just a different way of them doing it because they were showing different places of the Tree of Life. And so while I'm very, very interested in the writing and in the art, the story in itself didn't pull me in because I'm not the biggest fan of the magic stuff, the occult stuff, the mystical stuff. And so, like book 1, I wanted to give it a 2.5, but I think I'm going to give it a 3. And the overall story arc so far between book 1 and book 2, I'm going to stick with the 3. Now, that being said, if I finish the story and like there's this big revelation where, okay, I read all this, but this book 3 was freaking amazing, I'm going to, depending on where it is, if it's a 4 on that one, I might keep the series to the point where I'll do a reread. But if the other one, if book 3 is a 2.5/3, in that book alone, and the overall story arc is a 3, I'm probably gonna get rid of this. Like, it's gonna be a 3. I enjoyed it. The rating is okay, is great. I recommend it for people to read it, but the story in itself wasn't enough to keep me so focused on it. And because I'm running out of room to keep books, there's probably not going to be a reread for this for me. I was told by some people that you need to reread Promethea a few times in order to fully grasp it, but you should only do that if you really love something. And I didn't really love this, actually. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So as of now, I'm giving this book alone a 3, and this overall story so far a 3. And if that continues to be with book 3, I'm not gonna actually keep the series itself, only because I need the room. There's gonna be some books where I'm gonna rate them a 3, and I'm gonna keep them, enough because it still intrigues me to be like, I'm gonna give this another read. But this one, it's not a reread for me. I just can't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of getting over it already because of the whole mystic stuff, but that's just me. Anyway, guys, that's my rating. I hope you guys liked the rating. I hope you guys liked the review, actually. If you guys read issues 1 through 23 and enjoyed it so far, let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed Promethea, the issues, what you enjoyed about it. Don't try to give too many spoilers away in the comments because I don't want people to get spoiled from it. I was going to say give me recommendations, but at this point, I'm not taking no more recommendations because I am trying to read through everything that I have, sell some things, make room that way I can, get more stuff in. So that being said, guys, like I said, I do hope you guys did like my review. Give a like if you guys did it. Leave a comment on if you guys read it or not. And I appreciate everybody that watches my video. I really do. All that being said, guys, if you guys haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I should start saying that in the beginning of the video as well. That way people can be like, oh, okay, cool. Because I definitely need to put that out there. So anyway, guys, all that being said, I appreciate everybody that's been watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, everything to support me. This started off just being a little hobby of mine, me reading, me doing videos for myself so I can see if I read something, what it's about. Like, for me, I can just be like, did I read Promethea? What was it about? And I'll get my phone and be like, oh yeah, I remember that book, cool, whatever. So I started it for that, but now it's growing and I'm appreciating the feedback, small feedback that I'm getting from people, knowing that people are watching it. So anyway, guys, all that being said, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys on the next one.